Liam shivered as he clutched his knees tighter, his pristine white wings trembling with fear. The jungle was oppressively dark, suffocating in its silence, and the voice that cut through the stillness was like the sharp edge of a blade, cold, commanding, and dripping with menace. "Who dares enter my territory?" the voice repeated, each word a rumble that seemed to vibrate through the very ground. Liam's wide, doe-like eyes darted around, searching for the source. Then, from the shadows, a figure emerged, tall and imposing, wreathed in an aura of power that made the air feel heavy. It was him, Satan. His presence was unlike anything Liam had ever experienced. He was devastatingly beautiful in a way that was both mesmerizing and terrifying. His eyes burned like molten gold, sharp against the chiseled features of his face. Black, feathered wings spread behind him, darker than the void, and his form radiated an aura of dominance that made Liam's skin prickle. Liam's breath hitched as their eyes met, and he instinctively curled tighter into himself, wrapping his wings protectively around his trembling frame. Satan's gaze narrowed, his lips curving into a smirk that sent a chill down Liam's spine. He took a step closer, his boots crunching softly against the forest floor. "An angel," he mused, his voice a silky growl. And not just any angel, a pure one. Liam whimpered softly, his voice trembling as he finally spoke. I didn't mean to come here. Please, I don't know how I got here." Satan's eyes darkened, the golden hue deepening as he studied the fragile being before him. He could see the innocence radiating off Liam, an untainted light that contrasted starkly with the abyss around them. It was almost infuriating. How could something so pure end up in his domain? "You're scared," Satan said, his tone mocking yet strangely curious. "Good. You should be." Liam's wings quivered as he tried to muster the courage to speak again. "Please, I just want to go back to heaven." Satan chuckled, a low, velvety sound that made the hairs on the back of Liam's neck stand on end. "Back to heaven? Oh, little angel, do you think they'll take you back now? You've fallen." "No," Liam protested, his voice breaking. "It was an accident. I didn't mean to fall." Satan crouched down, bringing himself to Liam's level, though the overwhelming presence he exuded made him feel 10 times larger. He reached out and Liam flinched, but Satan only brushed a finger along one of Liam's wings. "So soft," Satan murmured, his voice dropping to a near whisper. "So fragile. Tell me, angel, how do you plan to survive in my realm?" Liam swallowed hard, his heart pounding in his chest. He didn't have an answer. Satan tilted his head, a smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. "You'll be eaten alive here, quite literally. Unless, Liam asked, his voice barely audible. "Unless you stay close to me," Satan said, his golden eyes locking onto Liam's. "Under my protection." Liam's brow furrowed in confusion and fear. "Why would you protect me?" "Let's just say..." Satan leaned in closer, his voice dripping with amusement. "You intrigue me, little angel, and I don't like wasting intriguing things." Liam hesitated, his mind racing. He didn't trust this dark figure. How could he? But he also knew that staying alone in this hostile realm was not an option. Slowly, reluctantly, he nodded. "Good," Satan said, standing to his full height. He extended a hand to Liam, his smirk deepening. "Come, little angel. Let me show you what it means to fall." Liam hesitated, staring at the outstretched hand. His instincts screamed at him to run, to fly, to do anything but take it. But as his trembling fingers reached out and touched Satan's, a spark of something unfamiliar shot through him. A strange, disorienting mix of fear, curiosity, and something deeper he couldn't name. Satan didn't let go of Liam's hand as he led him through the shadow jungle. His grip was firm, but not harsh, a silent reminder of his dominance. The dark trees twisted unnaturally, their branches clawing at the air like gnarled fingers. Liam's wings quivered at every unfamiliar sound, his head turning this way and that in panic. "Relax," Satan said without looking back. "Nothing here will harm you, as long as you're with me." The assurance didn't bring much comfort, but Liam nodded, his small steps trying to keep up with Satan's long strides. The sheer aura of power radiating from Satan was suffocating, yet Liam found himself drawn to it in a way he couldn't explain. He hated the sensation, this strange pull toward the very creature he'd been taught to fear. After what felt like an eternity, they emerged into a clearing. At its center stood a towering black palace, its spires stabbing into the crimson-streaked sky. The structure looked as though it had grown from the very ground, its obsidian walls glinting ominously in the faint, otherworldly light. "This is your home?" Liam asked, his voice trembling. Satan glanced down at him, his smirk returning. "Impressed?" Liam swallowed hard, unsure of how to respond. The palace was both terrifying and breathtaking, a reflection of the man, no, the entity, beside him. Satan led him inside, the massive doors opening without a sound. The interior was equally grand and dark, with high ceilings and intricate carvings of battles and chaos adorning the walls. The air was thick, charged with energy that made Liam's feathers twitch. Satan stopped in a grand hall, turning to face Liam. "You'll stay here," he said, motioning to the room around them. Liam blinked, looking around. "Here?" Satan rolled his eyes. "Not literally here, Angel. You'll have a room. I may be a ruler of darkness, but even I understand the concept of personal space." The teasing tone made Liam's cheeks flush, though he quickly nodded. "Thank you, I guess." Satan chuckled, crossing his arms as he observed the flustered Angel. "You're polite. It's almost nauseating." Liam frowned, trying to find his courage. "You didn't have to bring me here. Why are you helping me?" For the first time, Satan's smirk faltered. He tilted his head, studying Liam as if deciding how much to reveal. "Because you don't belong here," he finally said. "And I want to see how long it takes for this realm to corrupt you." Liam's eyes widened. "What? I won't let that happen." "Won't you?" Satan stepped closer, his presence overwhelming. "This world is poison to purity, Angel. It seeps into your very being, tainting you until you can't recognize yourself. It's only a matter of time." Liam stood his ground, though his knees trembled. "I won't fall, no matter what." Satan's lips curved into a wicked grin. "We'll see." That night, Liam sat in the room Satan had prepared for him. As Liam wrestled with his thoughts, a knock echoed through the room. He jumped, his wings fluffing up as the door creaked open. Satan leaned casually against the frame, his golden eyes glinting in the dim light. "Still awake?" he asked, his tone almost soft. Liam nodded, clutching the edge of the blanket around him. "I can't sleep." Satan stepped inside, his movements deliberate and fluid. He stopped a few feet away from the bed, his gaze piercing. "Is it fear, or something else?" Liam's breath hitched. "I don't know." Satan smirked, his presence somehow both comforting and threatening. "You'll learn, Angel. In time, you'll learn everything." And with that cryptic remark, he turned and left, leaving Liam alone with the strange warmth that had bloomed in his chest. Liam lay in bed long after Satan left, staring at the ceiling with wide, uncertain eyes. His heart was pounding, and his thoughts swirled in a chaotic mess. Everything about this place was foreign, terrifying, and yet Satan's presence left him feeling something he couldn't define. It wasn't just fear anymore. The memory of Satan's molten gold eyes lingered in his mind. The way he looked at him, like he was some puzzle to solve or a treasure to claim, made Liam shiver. But it wasn't all dread. There was a strange undercurrent of curiosity, a fascination that he couldn't shake. The next morning, Liam was awakened by a soft knock at his door. He sat up abruptly, his wings ruffling in surprise. "Come in," he stammered, still disoriented. Satan entered, his imposing figure filling the room. He was dressed more casually now, if such a word could apply to the king of hell. A dark, fitted shirt accentuated his broad frame, and his black wings were folded neatly behind him. The intensity in his gaze had softened, but his smirk remained firmly in place. "Good morning, little angel," Satan said, his voice rich and teasing. "I trust you slept well." Liam hesitated, rubbing his arm. "Not really," he admitted. "This place, it's so different from what I'm used to." Satan chuckled, stepping closer. "You'll adapt, or you won't. Either way, you're here now." Liam frowned, but before he could respond, Satan motioned for him to get up. "Come. I thought it might be amusing to show you more of my realm. You might as well learn to navigate it, in case you wander off and get yourself into trouble." The thought of venturing deeper into this dark world filled Liam with apprehension, but he nodded, slipping out of bed. He noticed Satan's eyes flicker to his wings for a brief moment, before quickly looking away. As they walked through the sprawling halls of the Obsidian Palace, Liam couldn't help but marvel at its beauty. It was dark and ominous, yes, but the intricate designs on the walls and the soft glow of ethereal flames lighting the corridors were mesmerizing. "You're quiet," Satan observed, glancing down at him. Liam shrugged, his wings twitching slightly. "I don't know what to say. Everything here is so overwhelming." Satan smirked. "I imagine it's a far cry from your pristine little heaven." "It is," Liam replied softly, his voice tinged with sadness. "I miss it." Satan stopped walking, turning to face him. His expression shifted, the teasing glint in his eyes replaced with something more serious. "Do you think they miss you?" he asked, his tone unreadable. Liam blinked, startled by the question. "Of course they do," he said, though his voice wavered. "I didn't mean to fall. They'll come for me, won't they?" Satan tilted his head, a sardonic smile curling his lips. "Perhaps, or perhaps they've already moved on. Heaven is nothing if not efficient, after all." The words hit Liam like a blow, and he looked down, his hands clutching at his robes. "Why are you saying this?" he whispered. "Because I want you to understand, Angel," Satan said, stepping closer. His voice was low and almost gentle, but there was an edge to it. "In this realm, the only thing you can rely on is yourself. No one is coming to save you." Liam swallowed hard, his chest tightening. He didn't want to believe him, but the seed of doubt had been planted. Satan sighed, his wings shifting slightly. "Come on," he said, his tone lighter now. "Let's not ruin the morning with such heavy thoughts. I'll show you something beautiful." Liam followed hesitantly as Satan led him outside the palace. The jungle was still dark, but the faint glow of the red sky above cast an eerie yet breathtaking light over the landscape. Satan brought him to a cliff overlooking a sprawling valley filled with glowing, otherworldly flowers. The sight took Liam's breath away. "It's beautiful," he murmured, his wings relaxing slightly. Satan leaned against a nearby rock, watching him with an unreadable expression. "Not everything in my realm is chaos and torment, Angel," he said. "You just have to know where to look." Liam turned to him, a small smile breaking through his fear. "Thank you for showing me this."